Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, man. I hope you enjoyed that last one, man. I enjoy getting a lot of old, I enjoy talking about the old days. It's always good to remember people, places, things, in any phase of life, but specifically in this business. There's so much cool stuff, man. I mean, when you do this every day, like, you see all this crazy stuff, man. Yesterday I was on a job. They had a newer boiler, but they had the old boiler still there with the not all, but some of the components of a rotary burner, and just the old style, like brick oven style cast steel boilers, tube boilers. So it's always cool to see like that, an understanding. It's like sitting with the guys and telling them that I look at everything when I go in a boiler room, because first of all, there's a lot of history, and the history will always tell you something. There's always something to learn. It's like an old mentor of mine many years ago had said to me when I was building houses. He was like, when you deconstruct something, you sometimes learn more than constructing something, because when you deconstruct, you can also see how things were done, how that particular person built something. And to be fair, in the old days, sometimes built so much better. A 2x4 was actually a 2x4, where now a 2x4 is really 1.5 by 3.5. They used to actually be a full 2x4. And it was more structurally sound than it is now. But now the engineers have gone crazy. Again, this isn't about construction. I digress. I just wanted to say that. If you guys are new to the channel, man, we appreciate you guys being here. If you don't mind, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Smash the like button. It also really helps us out. We're trying to build this thing. We put a lot of time and effort into it. We appreciate the hell out of you guys for coming here, stopping by. For those of you who have been here and have comment on the videos, and hopefully some of you guys are sharing the videos, it's greatly appreciated. We thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. We take a lot of time to produce these videos, and hopefully they come out clear on your end and you enjoy them. And I'm trying to loosen up a little bit too, because I know that sometimes I can come off like an but that's really not who I am. It's just, when you get used to sitting in front of a camera and talking to what feels like yourself sometimes, even though I know somebody's out there watching, it can be intimidating, so we're just learning. On this episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about electrodes. There's nothing fantastic about them. Again, my videos in general are never like super fantastic. Nothing's like over the top, right? It's a lot of simplistic, but I think it's a lot of stuff that's overlooked. You see that you've heard me talk about how I think the internet has just become this cesspool of nonsense and a lot of fake. And I just come on here to talk to you about real things that I see. Because there are conversations that can be had as it pertains to an electrode that seems so stupid. Like when you think about it, you're like, what could this guy possibly talk about for 15 minutes about electrodes? Well, I could talk about a lot, because there are a lot of things that guys don't understand, even when it pertains to something simple. You see, I am a big proponent of building a very firm foundation before you really build off, right? It's like building a house. If you build a house on a weak foundation, that house is probably going to crumble eventually. It may not crumble today, and it might not crumble tomorrow, but somewhere in the future, that foundation will crumble to the ground, and there goes the house. So I try my best to guide, show, teach in a way that is foundationally sound. So this way, when we build off of it, you have all the pieces in place to really build and grow properly. So what did I want to get into with electrodes? Well, first of all, the nice thing is some of these companies came around and started making different ones. Now, here are three. I'll take it out of the paper, this one, but these are three separate examples. Now, these two are exactly the same. They just come as a pack of two. Then I have this style, and then I have this style, which has a square end. Now, you may be asking yourself, like, what's the difference? Does it do something different? Well, in retrospect, no. Okay? You have a transformer, whether it be a single pole transformer for gas or a double pole transformer for oil. Maybe I'll get into that a little bit on this video too. But the idea is the same. Whatever the voltage is in the transformer, there's going to be a high tension wire attached to the back. And this one actually is for an Iron Fireman burner. For those of you guys who do know, the electrode actually goes to the tip of the ignition, and then there's like a separate like extension electrode sort of that goes inside the burner and attaches to the back side of this. So instead of having a high tension wire, it's actually like a piece similar to this that just attaches to the back end here and then attaches to the porcelain portion of it, right? And then my spark is at my tip. This square tipped one, again, does the same function, but for a different type of ignition assembly. This is for a Gordon-Piatt burner. They come with a square tip. The square tip slides in. There's actually an O-ring that comes with this. I must have fell out. It may be in my car. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But there's like a little O-ring here, and then a nut that goes on the backside, and then the tip sits at the front of the assembly, and then this grounds out, right? These are all single pole electrodes, meaning they're all for gas pilot. Now, there are sets now also that are dual. Now, it would look something like this, just in terms of how it looks, right? You'd have your nozzle. Let me try to do this as best I can. But you'd have like a nozzle over here, and the tips of these would spark, grounding out on each other. It would arc across it. Then the spray of the nozzle and the oil would spray across that arcing ignition. And then you would have what we call direct spark ignition, which is oil-fired ignition. Not very typical anymore on our jobs. We have a handful of them. In the wintertime in New York City, when the weather gets really cold, we have some jobs that are what we call TC gas, which is temperature controlled. So when the load is too much, like, you know, on a very cold day like we had this winter, we had many days which we call TC days, temperature control, when there's an automatic changeover that takes the burner from gas and puts it on oil that's set by the gas company themselves, because the neighborhood may not have the volume of gas to run on multiple buildings. So there are some select buildings that automatically switch over to oil, and then on those we have, sometimes you're still like, depending on the burner, they'll have two transformers. They'll have one for gas fired and one for oil fired. Some, it's all gas fired on the pilot alone, and then the oil fires off of that. It really depends. Again, I don't want to get in the weeds about it. I'm just giving you a quick description. So like I said, with oil fired, you'd have two electrodes with two high tension wires going to a double pole transformer, and then gas fired, this is for my industrial combustion burners, IC burners, you put just the connection for the high tension wire, which is connected to the high tension wire, snaps on here. This is at the tip of the ignition assembly, and then this would ground out on screws. This particular one has like a 3-screw setup that it grounds off of, and then the air pushes across it, arcs it, and then the gas lights it, right? So why did I bring these three out, and what is the importance of this? The thing I try to explain to my guys, you see, electrodes, an electrode is an electrode. So there are some times, like as an example, let's say you're in a pinch, right? It's late at night, parts are not readily available, the supply houses are closed, and you really don't have any options. And let's say I need this electrode, but I don't have it in the truck. Now, I could easily figure out, again, this is all temporary, right? But again, this is mechanical thinking, and this is the thing I want to talk about on this channel, because I find myself to be a fairly good mechanic, okay? Mostly because I feel I have an ability to think outside the box where other people don't. Now, it's taught to me by old timers, and I try to pass that knowledge down to the younger guys, but it would not be a permanent fix per se. But let's just say I needed this and all I had was this. Could I make this work for this situation? I think I could. And that's the difference between someone like me and someone like some of the younger guys coming in. I'm not knocking at any of those guys. Most importantly is this, it has to slide into an assembly. Now, if you look at these two, the thickness of the porcelain is about the same. So all I really need this to do is to be able to slide in, and then if I needed to, I could straighten this, and I can make it work in an emergency situation in a pinch. I say all that to understand that it goes back to what I was saying before. You see, an electrode's job is always the same. This is obviously just a different setup, right? This is for a different burner, but it does the same thing. It still carries the voltage from the transformer through the wire to the rear to the tip, right? And then the porcelain just protects. This is a protector, so you're not grounding out the spark in areas that are in the body of the assembly. Same thing with these, right? Now, another trick I learned a long time ago, if you are using any porcelain electrodes, is old timers taught me to use nail polish. Why? Because sometimes you clamp these things down, and if you clamp it too much, you can crack the porcelain. Remember, it's porcelain. So, but sometimes the crack is so fine that you can't really even, like the eye can't pick it up. It's not obviously there are times it's obvious. You can see it's busted, and yeah, in those situations you just change it. But sometimes the crack is so fine you can't even see it. So I had old timers tell me to carry nail polish inside of my tool pouch. So if I wanted to, I could just polish it on and see, and you would see the crack would show. And then what, because if you're having intermittent pilot issues and you're dealing with electrodes, and no matter what you change, no matter what you do, if you hadn't changed the electrode already, there could be problems. How do you check them? That's the way you check them. At least the way I've done it. Again, there's probably more than one way. That's how I was taught to do it in a pinch. And again, if you have different types of electrodes in your truck like I do, I have many different ones for different burners because I don't want to be stuck. But there have been times that I had to use an off-brand for a particular burner and make it work, right? That's how you learn these things over time. It's the same thing with transformers. Most importantly with the transformers, the core. And for our purposes, they come in 6,000 volt and 10,000 volt DC voltage. So that's something, another thing to be mindful of. If you're in the truck and you have a 6,000 where you need a 10,000, well, a new one will work, but I would still go back and change it. If you have a 6,000 and you only have a 10,000 in the truck and you replace it, technically once you change the guts, which can be done, you should be okay. But again, I'm just talking about things that are in a pinch, and that's why I brought this up, because I was really thinking about it today, and I realized that this is like a simple conversation, but guys don't understand that it's not like this one only works on Iron Fireman. The concept is exactly the same. That concept never changes. Yeah, the application is different. But you think I couldn't snap a wire on the back here in a pinch and straighten this out and make this do what this one does? 100% I could. Now, this one obviously is a little bit different. Not much you can do with this, right? This is kind of set for that burner. If I'm only stuck with this one and I don't have any other alternatives, I'm kind of, or I have to figure out a way. Like I said, sometimes if it has a hairline crack, maybe you could put a piece of tape. Again, these are all temporary things you hear me say. Don't act like I'm some sort of duct tape mechanic. That's not what I mean. But a lot of times in this business, you find yourself working late or even early in the morning when supply houses aren't open yet. So you have to think outside the box. You have to be willing to do things in an like abnormal way to get working. Because our job, when I get a call to go somewhere, is to get the job running. There are the handful of times that I can't, and I'm never going to leave jobs unsafe. But I can do things like this, even in a temporary setting, and then when the next day comes, we could just go back there, get the right parts, go back and make it right. But as long as that bad boy's running, especially during heating season, that's our number one priority. So I hope you guys got something from this. I know it's a simple video. I mean, it's very clear. I'm not trying to like brain bust you. This is not anything over the top. It's just a simple conversation that I feel has to be had, and one that's not had enough. And I'll be honest, I scour the internet for videos, and a lot of times I don't see these things talking about this. It's always like some grandiose thing or some... Listen, there's a purpose for everybody's videos. I'm not knocking anybody's channels. I think there's a lot of guys I follow on here, and I love it, and the content is great. I'm just giving you my style and my perspective. That's it. So I hope you guys got something from this episode, man. At the end of the day, that's what it's always about. It's about learning. It's about growing. It's about adding some things to your repertoire. And I hopefully in the comment section, you have some other thoughts or some other ideas or some other I can try, man. I'm not against it. I am a zero egotistical man. I am okay and accepting of other people's thoughts in this department specifically and in general. You know, I like feedback. And I like to know what you guys are thinking. So I really do appreciate you guys, man. I really do. And again, if you've watched this far and you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, man. Smash it. Hit that button, man. Smash the like button while you're at it. Why the what are you waiting for? Really helps us out. And if you've watched this far in the video, you clearly got something from it that you stuck around to the end. So I really do thank you. This channel couldn't do what it's doing and can get to where we're trying to get to without you. So thank you. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, feedback, ideas about videos, it does not matter what it is, drop a comment below. It's always me responding, and I respond to everybody's comments. I may get to it a day late, but I get to them, and it's me doing it. I basically manage my own account, so we put a lot of effort into this. So please, by all means, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's anything you want to hear me talk about. I'll gladly do that for you, as long as it's in the realm of what I do for a living. I have no problem doing that for you. So thank you guys so much once again. I hope you're having a great day. Keep crushing it. Do that you know you need to do. Stop procrastinating. Peace.